Alright, so if you are creeped out by insects, do not watch this part of the video because you're about to see a really big one. So these are my spell oil and spell powder ingredients. For the spell powder, we have this very large beetle, which has been steeping in a jar for a while now, just waiting for the perfect moment to be used. It's a very big beetle. And he's going to go in this spell powder, along with some butterfly pea flowers, which are indigo colored, which, dark blue is the color associated with Archangel Michael. And since he's helping with this spell to release toxicity in all of its forms, sever that from our lives, I thought that was appropriate. And I don't know why, sometimes I just feel called to include something, but I'm also going to include this little piece of cattail. And for my spell oil, I'm just going to use a straight up clove oil. And as you can see, the label says this is already expired, but it's still very potent, and it doesn't really matter. We're using it, we're just putting it on the candles. It'll be anointed onto the candles after they've been carved with everyone's initials and date of birth. And I actually feel like, because it is expired, that also is symbolic of, just releasing things that are expired, that no longer serve a purpose in our lives, that maybe we've been hanging on to. I forgot to say this. So the beetle has been in a jar with some ancestor dirt. It's like graveyard dirt that I collected from my family graveyards, and also with some black salt. So that is symbolic of the fact that if there's anything like, ancestral or generational toxicity that needs to be released, this spell powder will assist with that as well. And of course, Archangel Michael is just so good at cutting loose anything that no longer needs to be cut loose. So I'm going to do a sample candle here. Once I've made my spell powder, I'll do a sample candle to sort of show you how I'm carving it and dressing it. Alright, so this is going to be my candle. So what I do is I have my clove oil here. First I'm just going to carve my initials and date of birth into the candle. Put a little bit more of the spell oil on here. If you watched my videos before, you'll know that a lot of times I make very complex spell oils. Clove oil just felt right this time, so that's what I did. And this is the mixture that you saw before with a very ginormous beetle with the ancestor magic in there, and the butterfly pea flowers. So there we go. That is a candle that is carved and dressed and blessed. All right, so I'm getting ready to light the candles. There were a lot of candles participating, a lot of people participating in this spell, so a lot of candles are going to be lit. If you participated, I will be emailing you, of course, with a link to the video, as well as telling you which number corresponds to your candle, so that you'll know and you can watch it burn in the video. If you're watching this and you want a toxic release, but you didn't get to participate in this particular spell service, so you don't have a candle in it, you are in luck, because candle number 10 over here, the gold candle, and I don't usually do this, but this time, because I felt like this was such an important thing, and I feel like Archangel Michael came to me specifically because he wanted to be able to provide this service to as many people as possible. So if you're watching this and you want to release toxicity from your life, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, toxicity of circumstances, etc. I'll put up an image right now that lists, the various areas, any area of your life where there's toxicity, even ancestral lineage toxicity. That's what we're doing in this spell. I've aligned this spell specifically. I started doing the service. I started my ritual at 11:11 tonight, and to align with the moon, the sun, and Pluto all being at 26 degrees. Their signs, and I talked about this in another video, so I'm not going to go into it here, but I wanted to use that alignment specifically because it really corresponds symbolically. But the point I'm trying to make is, if you want to watch the gold candle, anybody who's watching this who doesn't have one of the sort of dark purple candles carved specifically with their initials, this is for anyone watching who wants to participate. So you can still receive the benefits fully from this. This is a gift to you from Archangel Michael, and Michael is always available to assist us with these types of things. Of course, when we're doing magic, we're taking that divine energy and we're bringing it in to the world through the 4 elements, which is what we're going to be doing here when we light these candles. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else to say. This is the most candles I've ever had in any spell service so far. I did kind of feel intuitively, even before this started, that would be the case. And I'm looking forward to this because I personally felt this spell start to work for me even before we got to this point. So I really feel that there will be excellent results. It could be something, as simple as finally cleaning up the clutter in your home. Those are some things that started to work for me. Or just, realizing certain things are toxic that you never realized were toxic before. So once you realize it, then you can work on removing those things, eliminating those things from your life. Habits, patterns, anything like that. I guess I will say a little bit more about the astrology here for anyone who's watching, who's interested in that, because so there's a harmonious alignment. The sun is making a sextile to both Pluto and the moon, and Pluto and the moon are making a trine to each other. This is a real release. It's a tremendous release. Sun in Scorpio brings light to the shadows, like I just mentioned, and when we bring light to the shadows, then we can know what's there. When we pull the skeletons out of the closet, we know what we're dealing with. So that's one element of releasing what's toxic in our lives. Pluto in Capricorn has the capacity to release and uproot anything that has very deep roots, like things that are ancestral, or just habits or patterns that have been ingrained in us for a long period of time. So things that we feel are very solidified, but we still want to kind of loosen them up so that we can release those things. Pluto in Capricorn is bringing that to the table. And then the moon in Virgo symbolizes the ability to sort of feel emotionally safe to clean up and organize and purify things. And it's about finding that sense of emotional peace through the process of cleaning up and purifying. So that's why I wanted to use that particular alignment. And, the moon moves pretty quickly through the signs, but this alignment started, or it was all in place at the 26th degree of each of their signs beginning at 11:11 p.m. tonight. This is November 18th as I'm doing this spell. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and light the candles. I don't know if there's anything more for me to go on about. I am just excited about this spell. Right, so there we have another very successful candle service, and very interesting. Label number 2, your candle number 2, your label fell off during the service. Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that there's a lot of wax because there were so many candles just heating each other up. So there's a lot of heat, concentrated heat here. But I'm going to call this a success. Lots of super high flames. I don't really honestly know what it all means. But what I am glad of is that all of the candles have burned completely and there were no fire hazards, which I was a little scared of with this many candles going at once. So thank you to everyone who participated. If you're just coming in to watch, like I said, the gold candle was for you if you want to claim it for your own release of toxicity. All right, thank you to Archangel Michael, and I wish you all the best. Bye-bye.